Lee Kuan Yew, 1923–2015, was a Singaporean statesman, widely regarded as the founding father of modern Singapore. His political and economic legacy has been extensively studied and debated, as he transformed a small, resource-poor city-state into one of the world's most important financial, commercial, and logistical centers. His vision, pragmatism, and strong leadership left a profound mark on Southeast Asia, establishing him as a model of effective governance and strategic national development. Born in Singapore in 1923 during British colonial rule, Lee Kuan Yew was educated in law at the University of Cambridge. His intellectual training shaped his analytical and strategic thinking, which he later applied to Singapore's political and economic challenges. During World War II, Lee experienced the Japanese occupation of Singapore, a period that strengthened his resolve for national sovereignty and development. These formative years heightened his awareness of issues such as security, identity, and survival, which would profoundly influence his political career. In 1959, Lee Kuan Yew became Singapore's first Prime Minister following a decisive victory by his People's Action Party, PAP, in the general elections. From the outset, he faced immense challenges. Singapore had a small territory, a diverse population, limited natural resources, and economic dependence on Malaysia and international trade. The country also suffered from high unemployment, inadequate housing, corruption, and racial tensions. Ensuring the nation's political and economic survival required bold decisions and a clear vision for the future. A core aspect of Lee's leadership was the creation of a strong, efficient state with institutions capable of delivering stability and development. He believed that social order, discipline, and meritocracy were essential for progress. Under his leadership, Singapore implemented rigorous anti-corruption measures, modernized its public administration, and professionalized its bureaucracy. Lee's government was characterized by pragmatism, emphasizing results over ideology. This approach allowed him to make difficult, often unpopular decisions that prioritized long-term national welfare and stability. Economic development was another pillar of his strategy. Lee Kuan Yew promoted industrialization, foreign direct investment, and the transformation of Singapore into a global financial hub. The government invested heavily in infrastructure, including ports, airports, and industrial zones, facilitating international trade and attracting multinational corporations. He recognized the critical importance of education and technical training in creating a skilled, competitive workforce. Singapore's economic model under Lee combined free market principles with strategic state planning, enabling the city-state to overcome its lack of natural resources and establish itself as a leading center for trade, finance, and technology. Singapore's multicultural population posed another challenge. Lee promoted policies to foster racial harmony based on equality of opportunity and mutual respect. He introduced measures to ensure balanced representation of major and minority communities in public administration and emphasized a national identity over ethnic or religious divisions. His pragmatic approach to diversity helped prevent internal conflict and consolidate social cohesion, a critical factor for sustained economic growth. Lee Kuan Yew's leadership was also marked by firm political control. While his government delivered stability and prosperity, it faced criticism for limiting civil liberties and political opposition. Lee defended a model of controlled democracy, arguing that sustained progress required stability in a young, vulnerable nation. This approach has sparked debate over the balance between economic development and political freedom, but its effectiveness in delivering tangible results, economic growth, social order, and national security, is widely acknowledged. On the international stage, Lee positioned Singapore as a respected, pragmatic actor. He maintained strategic relations with both Western powers and neighboring countries while defending Singapore's sovereignty and national interests. He understood that a small country needed economic strength and international credibility to ensure security and prosperity. Additionally, he actively promoted regional integration through the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, fostering cooperation and regional stability. One of Lee Kuan Yew's most enduring legacies was the creation of a culture of efficiency, innovation, and accountability in government and society. His emphasis on education, public housing, healthcare, and urban planning significantly improved the population's quality of life and built a modern, functional nation. Public housing programs under the Housing and Development Board, HDB, and urban planning initiatives transformed Singapore into a model city known for organization, cleanliness, and sustainability. Lee's development model has been extensively studied worldwide. He is celebrated for his visionary leadership, strategic planning, and pragmatic governance. However, critics point to his authoritarian tendencies, which limited political opposition and press freedom. Despite these criticisms, there is no denying that his leadership fundamentally reshaped Singapore, turning it from a small, vulnerable city-state into a leading economic and social model in Asia and the world. Lee Kuan Yew passed away in 2015, but his influence continues to shape Singapore. The country remains a global hub for finance, trade, and technology, with strong institutions, a diversified economy, and a high standard of living. His legacy is evident in Singapore's combination of pragmatism, discipline, and long-term strategic vision, which continues to define its politics, economy, and society. The impact of his leadership demonstrates how determined, strategic policymaking can transform a nation, even under initially adverse conditions. In conclusion, Lee Kuan Yew was an extraordinary leader who understood that the success of a small country depended on strategic planning, state efficiency, and social stability. By combining intelligent economic policies, pragmatic governance, and international foresight, he enabled Singapore to overcome historical and geographic limitations. While his leadership style has sparked debate over democracy and civil liberties, his legacy as the architect of a modern, prosperous, and globally connected nation is undeniable. Lee Kuan Yew not only redefined Singapore but also provided a model of leadership and development that continues to inspire governments and scholars worldwide.